Hey guys, my name is Nico and let's create a series of 3D lettering projects together. Sometimes 3D lettering may seem intimidating and complicated, but don't worry if you feel that way because I'm going to guide you through the process step by step. Today's project is going to be a floating or levitating 3D block letter effect like this. The face of the letters are going to be in white and the 3D effect is going to be outline effects. So it's not going to be filled. And then we're going to add like a rainbow colorful shadow below. And we're going to add a space background at the end just to give it like a spacey, 3D floating, colorful, fun lettering project. So I hope you're excited. We'll be using the 3D letter builder brushes to easily create the guides that we need to help us visualize and create this with ease. But don't worry if you don't have the 3D letter builder pack because I've prepared the downloadable guides for you to use so that you'll be able to follow along the process. So make sure to check the link in the description below. Without further ado, let's start creating. First, create a new canvas. And on that canvas, I want you to type out your lettering. So for this project, it's better to use sans serif because we want the letters to be spaced apart. We don't want letters to be connected like script. So just pick your favorite font, choose a very thick weight, and then just type it in before we start creating the 3D effect. So once you've done that, hide that first, and on a new layer, we're going to add in our 3D guides. So for this project, we are going to look at the levitating 3D category. So in this category, you have several brushes to choose from. Like the other categories, you have an arrow beside the name of the brush. So that arrow is showing you how you're supposed to use these brushes or this specific brush. So for example, this one, horizontal hovering sheet. So it's an horizontal. So it has an horizontal arrow, which means you're supposed to draw it at a horizontal line like this, like that. Okay. Let's get another example. For example, the diagonal hovering sheet. So the arrow is pointing to the lower right, which means you want to, let's just change to a smaller size. So we're going to follow the arrow to draw it at a diagonal angle going to the lower right, because if you snap it, you're going to easily align them just like this. So that is the use of the arrows beside the name. It's going to show you how to use this properly so that it's going to be super easy for you and you won't encounter a lot of problems and confusion when using this brush pack. So for this, some of the brushes have two different versions. Like for the horizontal hovering sheet, we have a sheet version. Let me erase that. A sheet version and a block version. So if you want your letters to have some thickness or some 3D effect already, you could use the block version. But if you want your letters to look like a thin sheet of paper floating, you could use just the sheet brush. But for this project, we want to have that 3D effect. So we are going to use the hovering block brush. So select that brush. Let's clear everything and zoom it out a bit. And since it says horizontal, right? Let's make the brush smaller. So we're going to draw this horizontally like this. Okay, like that. So since we have 6 letters, CHEERS, we're going to create 6 blocks. 6. Hold it. Hold your finger so that it's going to snap to the horizontal plane like that. Okay. Let's center this and maybe increase the size a bit. Okay, so now that we have 6 different blocks, to use this pack properly, you don't really need to move and adjust each of the words into this specifically, because the spacing is going to be off. When you type in your words, you're going to have a better spacing. So don't follow the spacing of this and the width of these boxes. These are just guides so that you'll be able to visualize how your board is going to look after you've created it. So it's basically going to look like this with this thickness, and it's going to levitate at this distance from the base. So once you have that down, let's duplicate our layer just so that we have a backup of the original one. And what we need to do now is to follow this guide. So what you can do is maybe increase the size a bit. Okay. So we're going to bring it to the lower corner right here. And then we are going to use distort and then move it like this. Okay, so you want the bounding box to follow the angles of the guides right here. So earlier you have this straight, so you want it to follow this angle. So we moved it using distort to get to that correct angle right there. And after that, you can increase the size if you want. Maybe like this. This looks nice. Okay, and then we're done. Just center this again. Perfect. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create the 3D effect. So since we don't have a corner here on the letter C, what you can do is simply, or just use any brush to draw a point right here. Okay. Then after that, we're going to duplicate this and move the base. Move it down, turn on magnetic so that it's just going to be vertical, and bring it down to this point. Perfect. Next is we're going to bring the opacity down like that, as well as for the guide so that it's not going to be too distracting. And let's go back to the original layer and erase this dot because we're not going to need that anymore. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to add the lines, the solid line effect. So what we're going to do is add a new layer below the top layer. And then we're going to switch to a fine monoliner. And then we are going to draw the layers. So if you want them to be thicker, or if you want the 3D lines to be thicker, just increase your brush size until you get the right width. So let's just increase this a little bit more, maybe 11%. Perfect. And after that, we're going to draw the sections individually or separately, okay? So like here, this is going to be a vertical line. Make sure it touches the corner. And then we're going to do this curve thing right here, or the arc. Like that. Perfect. We'll connect these two. Like that. Okay. Let us now choose the colors that we want. So we want to start with this dark, this purpley blue. So let's just color that like that right now so that we won't have to recolor them later. So let's choose a second color, which is this fuchsia color. And since it's going to touch that line, so let's just draw it on a different layer. So I think this is good. And then this is the horizontal. And draw the vertical like this. There. And next color, maybe this green. I think we'll just duplicate this one and move it horizontally like that, so that we don't have to redraw everything. Let's just color drop it like that. Perfect. Actually, we can merge these three layers since they're not really touching each other. So next is, let's choose another color, maybe this pink. Try it like that. Horizontal line right here. like that. Perfect. Okay, at this point, I think we can hide the guides for now. I mean, the 3D layout guides, so it's not too confusing. So next is let's choose another color. Okay, I'm going to draw this vertical line right there, vertical line right here. Draw the horizontal line like there. Next color, maybe orange. Let's draw a vertical line like that. Horizontal line here. Move that up a bit. Draw like that. Maybe next color is yellow. So we're just gonna alternate with the colors. There, yellow. Next is maybe red. Yeah. Okay, draw the line. And then we're gonna follow this curve right here. Like that. Now we could go back to this purple. Since the color is so far from here, let's just connect this. So it's just like building the normal 3D block, but we're just coloring the outlines. We're not going to fill it in. Okay. So next is let's pick a different color. Maybe this green, this kind of like yellow for here. Oh, maybe here. Like that. And then maybe this blue here. So, yeah, so right now we're just coloring the edges. We're just skipping the edges are going to touch each other because we want to draw them in a different layer. So maybe orange is a good color to use. So let me color pick that and add the orange line right here. Like that. Okay. Next one, maybe let's get this purple. Draw it here. Okay, I think it's getting darker, so let me just adjust the lighting. Let's choose a different color, maybe red next for this one. There. And maybe green. So I'm just choosing colors that have not been selected or used near it. Okay, so green is far, so I'm going to use that. So for this one, maybe blue. Oh. For the curve part of the R, right here, I'm going to follow the curve up to here. And then draw our vertical line right here. Like that. Okay. I think we could add a new layer behind it and start coloring. So let's choose pink and color this part right here because we need to draw a line here. Perfect. I think we're done with the letter C. For the letter H, let's choose a different color. Maybe we're out of colors. Oh, what other color can we use here? Maybe red? Yeah, there's no red yet. Oops. Let's just use it from the palette or get it from the palette. Like here, okay. And for this one, yellow is far, so let's add yellow here. There's going to be a straight line right here, and we're going to connect this, follow the edge like that. Perfect. Next is this one, so I think we can use orange because there's no orange nearby yet. Orange is going to be here. We just need to erase that. We just need to erase this part right here because it's supposed to be behind the orange. Next is what other color? Maybe no, maybe this fuchsia color. Let's draw it here too. And draw it like this. And we have to erase this red part. Like that. Then last one, I think let's just use yellow to draw this line. There. So if we hide this there, this is what you'll see. So like the 3D effect is starting to come together and it's in different colors like that. Okay. Now for the E, we just need those. So what you can do is just select these and duplicate since it's basically the same letter. Like that. Merge them and erase the green part right here because it's not supposed to be there. Okay. Now I'm going to turn on alpha lock so that I could recolor this faster. So for this one, maybe fuchsia and pink for this one. And maybe purple for this yellow part right here. Oh, so for this one, I think I forgot to add here. So let me bring back this guide and choose a different color, maybe red. Okay. I forgot to draw this earlier, so I'm just drawing this now. Erase. There. And now back to the back layer. Let's pick another color. I think let's use green again. So green is going to be here. And then what color should we use? Pink. We don't have a lot of pink here. Let's just draw a vertical line like this for the pink. And then maybe purple because we need to connect these lines right here. Okay. This may look a bit confusing right now, but later, once everything is finished, you'll see it all come together. So we're just drawing or coloring the edges of the 3D effect. Okay, like that. And I think we're almost done. We have 2 more to go. So last colors, let's choose yellow again. So we have something bright here. Like that. And the last color is going to be here. Let's choose orange. So draw this straight line right here. And this curve there. So when you hide it, there we have it. So the 3D effect, as you can see, has now been colored like that. Now let us change the colors of the text and the background. So let's change the background to black. Oops. And then turn the foreground color to white by inverting it. Perfect. And let's bring our guides back. So now the next thing we have to do is create the shadow, right? So let's duplicate the cheers layer, bring it all the way down, and move it down to the guide right there. Okay, perfect. So like the 3D effect, we want the shadow to be multicolored as well. So let's hide the 3D guides first. Hide, oops, not a new layer, hide it. And select the shadow, turn on alpha lock, change your brush size to the biggest one, and start randomly coloring it. So let's start with purple. So let's just color this where purple isn't, where there aren't really a lot of purple. So maybe here. Next is the fuchsia color. Next is the green. Maybe green will look nice here. Next is pink. Maybe we could put pink at the end. And then maybe, oops, color blue. You could put blue at the beginning. It's up to you how you want to distribute the colors. This is just how I'm doing it. Maybe orange will look nice here. And then purple. Maybe purple here. And then red at the end. Perfect. There. So what you can do is maybe, oops. So what I can do is, if you don't want the lines to be clearly visible, so you may want to like change the shape a bit. So just redraw the colors, but give them like curves instead of straight lines. Like that. Once you're okay with that, duplicate so that we keep a copy of the original shadow. Now remove alpha lock and turn on Gaussian blur. So maybe 12% is good. So if you want to intensify the color, you could just duplicate and then just maybe adjust the opacity of it. Perfect, perfect. If you want to blur it a bit more, it could alpha lock that. Then just Gaussian blur so that the color inside are going to be blurred, not the outside. There. There you have it. Let's now add the background. So at the base layer, let's add a new layer and choose white. And then choose any texture that gives you like some dots like that. Perfect. But for me, there are like a lot of dots. I'm using the light splatter texture of my graffiti lettering pack. So if you want to remove those smaller ones, it's super easy because I feel like there are a lot of dots right now. So what you can do is select automatic and adjust the threshold. So select the background and adjust the threshold until you have like some bigger circles that are left, and then just use 3 fingers to erase. So it is after, before, and after. Do you see the difference? Before and after. It is perfect. So if you want to add a bit of glow to your lettering, it's super simple to do. Just maybe just group all of these together and then duplicate and merge or flatten the duplicate layer. Then just add Gaussian blur to it. So you have a little bit of a glow. Not sure if it's visible. Yeah. And I would just want to lighten the glow a bit so that it's not too harsh. So maybe 40%. Yeah, that's it. I feel like the shadow is a bit too strong, so maybe just bring it down a little bit. So there you have it. It's super easy to create this levitating 3D effect with these 3D brushes, right? So I want you to try to recreate this piece and share it with me so that I could see your work. You can choose to create the exact same word, exact same style, or if you have the 3D pack already, you may want to choose a different block arrangement, maybe something with diagonal. So feel free to try that as well. And use the colors that you want. If you have a different color combination you want, feel free to use those as well. But if you don't have the 3D pack, don't worry. You can download the worksheets for you to recreate this piece. I have placed the link in the description below. But if you want to get the 3D pack, I also placed the link to my website in the description. So if you have any questions about this process or brushes, feel free to leave them in the comment section and I will get to those. And make sure to check out the other project tutorials of this 3D lettering series. I'll see you in the next tutorial.